Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Commander Landad here with another video on DC Legends, and we're going to be taking a look at update 1.10 which went live today. But before I start, I want to first of all thank WB and Rajan for having put on a very detailed update notes up on the Reddit and also on their forum, so thank you very much guys, because one thing that I have been claiming for on the Reddit was for more transparency as to what actually was changing, so thank you very much for that. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these changes. We're not going to go through every one of them because they're quite extensive actually, and also I haven't really had a chance to test everything out, but let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, it says that we get some major improvements to make it much easier to see what rewards are available in PvE by indicating rewards with a low, medium, and high chance to drop. And what that means is that when you go, for example, to your heroes, let's pick Hal Jordan for example, I want to find his shards or his fragments. When I go to the info screen and I look at the stages in which he is available, I can see that he has a medium chance to drop fragments in those stages, and pretty much that's the same way all across the board for all characters that you can farm. If you look at Cheetah, take a brief look at her, you see it's all medium, so basically pretty much even across the board there, so not much to see there. One more just to kind of like prove a point, I guess. So medium here, but when you go and look at, for example, if I go here, not that one obviously, that one's already maxed out at the moment, but if I go here and I need to find this material and then I go down the list, then I can see there's a high chance in the Mystical Archive, guaranteed in Archive 1, and then I see high chance here, high, medium, low chance, medium. Now let's go to a level 3 because those are the ones that I looked at first, and you can see that those will have rare also in their drop rate. So anyway, let's go here for Hal Jordan. Alright, here we go. There's a level 3, and you can see it's high in Absolute Energy 3 and 4. But as I go down in the stages, I see low, medium, low, rare, and low, rare, low. So you can basically kind of gauge whether or not you want to farm those stages for those materials. Obviously, you would want to try the medium ones if you ever decide to do so, even though if you have seen my materials video, do not farm the stages, go straight into the live events. Anyway, that's one of the first changes. And then it also says that from the PvP screen, now you'll be able to see, not only are you going to be able to see the trophy count like we used to, and also the +9, +7 and whatnot, but you will also be able to see the power of the opponent. So as you can see here, take a look at my list right now. Let's take a look at Unique Major 2128. So he has 1,932 trophies. His power is 20,000, so it would give me 9 trophies if I beat him. So when I go in, I take a look, yep, his power is 20,000, so I can see the difference between him and my team, and that's actually not my main team, there it is. But anyway, so that's very good because you don't have to click on it to see the power level now. You can just gauge it from here before you even jump into the match and decide to even try. So that's pretty good. Now, it also says optimization to and improve load times. Now, that one I don't know. I don't know for you guys, but for me, the game has been loading a tad bit slower, so let me know in the comment section below if you're also experiencing the same thing. Visual improvements to enhance character looks and feel of DC Legends. So what I noticed about this, I'm going to go to Robin because he's the one I've been working a lot lately, and I've been looking at his character model a lot more. So when I spin him around, first of all, I do notice some more definition in his outfit, but also when I go around here, because you can see it very well in his cape. Take a look at his cape. There's and I'm not sure that was there before, to be honest, but the textures are better, and also the lighting effect on the cape. It's something that I mean, it was there, but it wasn't as defined, is what I'm trying to say. So it looks very crisp, at least on my end. Hopefully it's showing on the video. So anyway, that's very cool. Just a nice touch, just minor things. It's the small things, right? So then you have optimized graphics as well, and has to provide smoother gameplay. Now we're not gonna try that one in the video. And we have interface improvements. The UI is more intuitive, clear, and attractive. Now I don't really notice any changes aside from the crisper graphics like that I'm noticing right now. But if you guys know of any changes, anything that changed, I don't see anything. I do notice the graphics are more crisp, which is very nice. The Watchtower display has been upgraded. The Hero Challenge display will now show the next upcoming Hero Challenge, which again, I don't see a difference there because you could see the event that was going on at the moment, and then you could always see the ones that were coming right after that. So I'm not sure what the change was there, but anyway, it's part of the note, so I'm reading it. Then for general combat, we've got Silence Now Works as intended, which I'm really excited about because I'm planning on using Robin on the next episode of Team Synergies, and I'm just waiting to get my guys to the standards that I want to use them in PvP. That's why it hasn't come out yet, but we're very close, guys, so be patient. It'll be dropping sometime soon. Now, Calling Assist will now be significantly more balanced, and that's a good thing because it used to be, if you ever played against a team that had Hal Jordan, Wonder Woman, Champion of the Amazons, man, you would get just completely devastated because if Hal Jordan called on Wonder Woman, then Wonder Woman could call on somebody else, and it was just like this huge chain that would just completely decimate your entire team in less than 2 turns. So what this means is that now when, for example, Hal Jordan calls Wonder Woman for an assist, or Batgirl, who also has a call assist, instead of creating a chain, it'll stop at that second character, which I think is a very good balance change because it was completely out of control. So that's very good. I'm very happy about that. Now, buffs and debuffs are removed from revived characters unless it's specified by the reviving ability. For example, Doomsday passive is an example of that. So now when a character dies and they have debuffs on them, when they come back to life, like Doomsday or Swamp Thing or Grundy, they will completely remove all debuffs and come back clean, which is really good. Hopefully it'll give those characters more viability for PvP and not just for PvE. In some instances, stacking bleeds would recover HP after suffering bleed damage. I have seen that happen many times. This should no longer occur, which is really good. So now bleeds, it's going to definitely be a viable PvP strategy. Now let's get into the meat of it. Some of the characters that got some changes. Arcus definitely got the most changes of all. So they fixed a lot of his stuff that was not working with him. One thing that I mentioned on my spotlight video for him was that whenever he got attacked, he would still use Sword and Shield when he was shielded, and he's not supposed to because he was supposed to only use that ability when he was not shielded. So when you see here on his Paragon, it says 30% chance to use Sword and Shield if Arcus is not shielded. That has always been there. Or his shield is reduced to 0. That was added. But it was supposed to be when he was not shielded, and he was still using it every time. So that's good. Now, Arcus receives a heal and 10% shield if ascended to Mayan Fist. It's used to defeat an enemy through any method. So it used to be that when you used to Mayan Fist, you would get the benefit of the 10% shield and the heal, but not when you used Issue Challenge. So now you get it also, and I can confirm that because, again, Arcus is part of my PvP team, and it does work. Arcus should counterattack with Mayan Fist if he does not have a shield, also working as intended. Arcus should be able to counter with Sword and Shield and Mayan Fist on the same turn, which is the thing that I had not noticed that it wasn't working, so maybe for some people it was not. I don't know, I'm not sure about that one. He should not counter ally or self-targeted abilities, so that's also very good because he was targeting some crazy things, like somebody would do a buff sometimes and he would go ahead and counter attack. I had seen it happen very rarely, but it did happen. His legendary passive has a 30% chance to use Sword and Shield when Arcus is not shielded. We talked about that one already. Passive provides enraged immunity if Arcus is shielded when it activates, so very good. Also, Batgirl got an improvement on her AI, very good. But Batman the Cape Crusader will now evade when he has evade ups, which wasn't working. Black Adam's passive has been fixed also, which is very good. Black Canary, her fully upgraded judo instruction team leader passive ability applies 2 stacks of evasion to all allies. I'm not sure that wasn't working because my Black Canary is barely rank 3, so I'm not sure. So if you guys have Black Canary fully upgraded, let me know if she was not working and if she's not working as intended, because that would be something very good for me to know, because I do have a team built around her, but of course no access to her fragments. Catwoman's passive ability will not grant the correct amount of buffs. Cheetah, I'm excited about this one because Cheetah, if you watch my spotlight video, I said that she was bugged, and this is really exciting because I have a team plan with her and Robin, and they're very interchangeable between the two of them, depending on what kind of team you want to run, but you just have to exchange their leader positions. Anyway, Cheetah's team leader ability has 42% chance to apply 42% turn meter to an ally damaging a bleeding enemy. Allies damaging bleeding enemies gain a strength up. Now that is very good because, again, it wasn't working. Number 1, it wasn't working. And number 2, now they also gain a strength up, which I don't believe was part of her passive before, because even looking at it now, I don't see the strength up here. I know it was part of Ambush Killer, but I thought that was only working on her, so apparently this is granted to all allies, which is very cool. Now, Cheetah's Blood in the Air ability consistently gives the correct number of strength ups when used, which also was bugged because even when it says here, it had the condition that when an enemy was dead, you would get an extra strength up, and that was not working. So it's very cool that this is actually working now, even though I have not tested it, but as soon as I do, I will let you guys know. And she's going to be part of that Team Synergies episode, so we'll definitely be talking about it there. Now, Chemo's a character who's also going to be part of that team that I'm talking about, and his chemtrail, Doombox and I had noticed, or he noticed, and he mentioned it to me, and then I noticed it too, that it actually had a dual damage tag because the special damage was not listed there, so it had special and physical damage because he was affected by strength up, which when you have a special damage ability, you're not affected by strength up. You're supposed to only be affected by intelligence up. But anyway, he was doing tremendous amounts of damage with strength up and intelligence up. So this is kind of a nerf. I guess you could say this is actually a correction because now it says special damage to an enemy. So, but Chemo still very effective, very, very good character, in my opinion. Or not very, very good. He is a good character. Let me take the very, very out of the equation. He's a good character when you build a team around him. Anyway, Toxic Spill cannot miss even when used against evasive enemies with evade ups, which this I noticed that even though I had upgraded it to cannot miss, it was still missing Huntress sometimes. So anyway, moving on, Deathshot, Hired Gun. His wrist gun's ability should now grant the appropriate turn meter when defeating an enemy. I don't use Deathshot, so I'm not sure that wasn't working. The Suicide Squad version of Deathshot, I was hoping he would get a nerf because he has ridiculous AoE damage in my opinion. But anyway, it says you must now target or tap an enemy to use the AoE. And Master of Arms now should apply 100% turn meter if used while an enemy has agility down applied. So he got, I guess you could say, a buff or he got a fix. Now, Green Arrow, his team leader apparently has not been fixed. I've been reading a lot of comments on the Reddit, and people were saying that it's not mentioned here except for the fact that they're fixing his team leader ability subtracts from enemy turn meters when dealing a critical hit to an enemy. Now, Hal Jordan now receives a 25% turn meter, which is very good because he was not getting that buff whenever he used his shield after being shielded. Hammer Time will no longer stun enemies if it misses, which is great because it made no sense whatsoever. So that's really good. Harley Quinn, Pop Bang ability does plus 200% damage about 50% of the times it's used, so they corrected that. Now this is one that I'm kind of, I don't know what this means, so if anybody can maybe explain this to me, or maybe it wasn't working for some players, it's the theory that I'm going with. But for Huntress, it says her no rest ability triggers after defeating an enemy. Now, for me personally, it was working just fine. As you can see, I have it upgraded to 7, so it's 90% for me. So whenever she killed an enemy, more often than not, she would use no rest without having to use Birds of Prey. But maybe what I'm thinking is that for some people it wasn't working as intended, so they had to fix it. So very good. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump up. I'm going to skip Jessica Cruz and Joker because I don't want to make the video too long. Let's go to Metfill because there was definitely a misunderstanding. When the notes first came out, it said, and I'm going to go to my energy characters here, find Metfill, here he is. It said that his Will to Live ability was going to revive an ally. Now, since then, that sentence has been crossed, and it says now, we apologize for the miscommunication and confusion this may have caused. The Will to Live's behavior should remain the same. This was a fix for an unintended behavior, so it's not going to revive an ally anymore, which is kind of sad. I know a lot of us were very, very happy. We were like, oh God, Broccolops, God Broccoli, and he was going to be like the PvP meta was going to change to more control, but apparently this is not going to be the case, sadly. Now it says a revive ally will receive damage immunity after being hit by Metfill, the Will to Live, so I don't know why that's still there if the ability is not meant to revive somebody. But anyway, I know that I tested it out, Doombox tested it out, and it hasn't changed. It doesn't revive anybody, so that's very sad. But again, he's still a great character, so it doesn't really take away anything from him because he didn't have it. So moving on, so we see Mirror Master also got a speed down fix, should no longer miss if triggered. It says mirror images speed down should no longer miss if triggered. Raven got a fix as well. Her claw ability should now apply silence on enemies after a counter attack, so that's good because silence is very good. I'm going to go ahead and skip down to Star Sapphire. And Star Sapphire, if I can click on the... Now she's going to apply 2 mens to herself. it says Star Sapphire's love grows gives now a second man to herself. So we're talking about her legendary upgrade for that ability. So that's really, really good, and that could make for some really great interactions with that ability, with her passive and some other abilities from other heroes. So I don't know how this is going to work. I can't wait to test it out, and now Doombox is going to be testing it out as well. So we'll report back to you guys once we know better. Supergirl is another one that got a buff or a fix, whatever you want to call it. But now her passive, okay, her ability triggers whenever an ally on your team receives a critical hit. Okay, so we're talking probably about save the day is what I'm thinking, because this will be her team leader ability, which reduces crit damage. And this one is the one that she gains 18% meter if an ally is dealt a critical hit, and also she gains agility up as you upgrade this ability. So pretty cool. She's a great character. I know when I did my spotlight video, I was very disappointed, and it kind of sounds, my voice kind of reflects that. But as the time has gone on, and I've seen her in action in PvP, I think she's a great character. I actually put her on my list of characters that I'm going to be upgrading next month as soon as I'm done upgrading the team that I'm working on right now. So very excited about that. We're towards the end of the video, guys, so thank you for hanging out. Hanging on for so long with me right now. So Zatanna is the next one we're going to talk about. Her stack deck will now function properly and apply a heavy heal and purge 2 debuffs from all allies. This is something that I had noticed myself. Like, her heal was not consistent. Even though it crit or didn't crit, the heal was not consistent. The numbers were up and down all the time, and also the purging didn't quite work as intended, so that's very, very good. It might make her viable in PvP, even though I know some people are using her in PvP, and she does it very hard. So, but anyway, now some bug fixes that happen. In the arena, you should no longer see more than one of the same opponent on your list. I know that I had seen some repeat opponents on my list. Fix an issue where additional bonus shields and hero challenge would appear to grant a lower bonus than intended. And also fixed an issue where fragments won in the PvP tournament did not count toward daily missions. I had never experienced that one because I usually collect my fragments before I even open packs. Any obtained fragments should now count towards daily mission to collect those fragments. So there you have it, guys. That is update 1.10. What do you think about these changes? Have you tested some of these out? And let me know what your results are in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts as well. What do you think about this? And do you think this is a step in the right direction, where they're giving us very detailed update notes for us to be able to judge what they're doing, which I think it's great in my opinion. Now, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, as that helps out the channel a great deal, guys. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on all the great content I'll be bringing you in the days ahead. And if you would like to support the creation of more videos, click on the link to my PayPal tips are in the video description below. And as always, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day and stay legendary.